Hey guys, it's Becky and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's really nice that you guys are here and I love it every Monday when you come back and join me for a little bit of fun. So today I am going to go through a few of the questions that you'd asked me last week on Instagram. I literally said ask me anything and you guys came back with a whole bunch of questions for me to answer, and I thought I could do it on Instagram stories, which I will add a few of those in the next week or two, but I just wanted to get through a few of those with you because I thought it would be a really nice and easy way for you guys to get to know me, and so I can go through a few of the answers with you. Instagram only has 15-second snippets, so it makes it a little bit difficult for me to kind of elaborate on any story apart from that. And I can go more and more and more stories, but quite often I find that if I'm shooting a YouTube video, it makes it a lot easier for me to just say everything that's in the video as opposed to doing 15 seconds and 15 seconds, or even making a minute or 2 minute video and then having to break it all down into 15-second segments, upload them all, and then get them out to you. So I just figured this would be much more fun. Before we start the video, I wanted to give you some of my recommendations this week because there's just been a few things that I'm like, I think you guys might like this. First one is a jewelry recommendation. I was referred to this by one of my girlfriends, Gracie. They're from a brand called Esq, E-S-Q. So I'm gonna put a link to their Instagram and their website down below so you can check them out yourselves. I really like them, so I'll just show you. These ones are like Huggies. There we go. Okay, so this one is this is the Huggies that I bought. These are just a diamond stud that I've already got in my collection. And then these ones are also, oh, look at the color on my finger. I've been coloring in with the kids, ignore that. These ones are really cool. They're just on like a swing stud like this. I really like these ones. I want to put one of these in the top part up here, and then the Huggy, well, I'll move this one over to here and then use like a little bigger hoop or something with a probably like a charm or something on the bottom of it. I'm not quite sure yet. I haven't worked out exactly what I want to do with these, but I just thought these were really cute and I thought you might like them. So that's one recommendation for you. The other one that I have is the phone covers that I had been sent from Ideal of Sweden. I thought I'd let you know these are actually really cool. I've seen them online a lot and didn't quite know whether they were for me or not. You can actually have them initials put on them as well, like hot stamped with foil, which I thought would be really cool. This just went with a neutral color. This one also has like a charging dock, so it's wireless charging. So I have that on my office now. I have to say they're pretty convenient. So anyway, back to this video. I loved all of your questions that you came through. I quickly skimmed through all of them, so I haven't really read a lot of them, but I have read some. So we're just gonna get right into it and start answering these questions for you. Okay, the favorite place I have traveled to and place that I'd like to go. I've traveled quite a lot around Australia, so I'm very lucky to have been able to do that. Where I'd really like to go, I've never been to Europe, so I'd love to go there. One of my favorite places to be in the whole entire world is in the snow, and one of those would be in Japan. So I've been twice now to Niseko snowboarding with Fabian and a couple of my friends, so I'd love to go back there. I was supposed to go to the snow in New Zealand just in August, but couldn't go because Mackenzie was in hospital again. So it's been kind of one of those things. I'd love to get there, but at the moment with the kids, it's just been a little bit too hard. What does the tattoo say on the inside of your finger? So I've had this question a lot, probably 6 or 7 times in these questions. So I have 2 tattoos on my finger. These are the only tattoos I have on my body, apart from my eyebrows. When my dad passed away when I was 6 years old, on his 20th anniversary of his death, he was a clearance diver in the Navy, and I had his clearance diver number tattooed on my finger. So I'll pop a photo on the screen just here about, he has like a picture, and it's a picture of his diving certificate, and it's got handwritten, him holding a chalkboard with the handwritten of his diver number, like it's like his Navy registered number or something like that. And so I basically got that done, and that's on the inside of this finger. Really awkward plate. Ah, there we go. R118102. So then the following year, for his 21st anniversary, which is in April every year, then on his 21st anniversary, I had my firefighting number written on my other finger, so that when they're together, both of the fingers are together and both the tattoos are together. And it was just kind of a cool, sentimental way that I could have something with my dad and he'd always be there with me. RFF 900517. So it's just retained firefighter, which is the RFF, that's what that means. What is my greatest achievement? My greatest achievement, I don't think has happened in the career-wise that I've had yet. I don't think that is yet to happen. I feel like I'm on my way and I'm on the right path. My greatest achievement in my entire life is finding Fabian and creating this family that we have together, and this life in this world. It's amazing, and it's really nice to be a part of that and to have somebody that loves you infinitely and you've created these people with. I think it's very easy for me to say my kids are my greatest achievement, they are a part of it, but they're not the entire part, because I can't have them without him and us. It's gonna kind of go all together. When is the wedding? Oh, I don't know. If anyone wants to plan it for me, can they just do it? I would love that. I am super excited to get married. I can't wait for the day. I've been waiting and complaining about it for so long. The whole planning of the wedding, I thought I would be a little more excited about. Perhaps I might be if I find a date or a venue that I'd like. But since we've been engaged, it's not been an easy ride whatsoever. So we've had so many ups, so many downs. We've basically not really spent much time together at home anyway. So it's been really difficult to even bother speaking about it or thinking about it. When's the date? Certainly not in 2020. I'm not interested in doing that. 2021, probably at some point. We just have to work out what's going on with the supercars calendar. So, and they only just came out with next year's now. So I think it's gonna be like a whole nother year until we can actually plan something. Vanessa has asked, can I do a makeup tutorial with Fabian? Fabian's actually just sitting behind the camera and he's laughing. What do you think? No way is the answer. I don't think you need makeup either. I think you're just beautiful, doll. How did Fabian and I meet? I don't know whether, I certainly haven't put it on this channel, but it's definitely out there in the universe of internet. How we met is I was working as a grid girl for Rockstar. We were in Perth at the time. He was working for Walkinshaw Racing, and I was also working for Rockstar, who was sponsoring the cars at Walkinshaw Racing at the time. So this is back in, I think, 2011. Yeah, so 8 years ago, long time ago. But yeah, he definitely chased me. Yep. Oh, so many people have asked me this one. Did Fabian propose in the time frame the psychic had given me? So if you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up in the cards just above here. Did he propose in the time frame? Technically not. But like, I will say this. She said 4 to 6 weeks. And it was 7 weeks that Fabian proposed from that video. So from the day that I'd seen her. So technically no, but I have to say, give her credit, right? So she could have said 5 years, never, 2 or 3 months, something like that. If someone said to me, here's a time frame, and they were out by like 7 days, I would be wildly impressed with that. A few people have asked me that and asking if he's within that time frame. So technically no, but almost. I thought it was pretty good. How do I keep positive in life? I think life is all about perspective, and quite often we don't necessarily have all of the perspective that we can get at that one time. Or if people are telling us that there's an opportunity to find perspective in something else, we're not necessarily ready to listen or ready to hear it. For me, how I keep positive all the time is I'm a really practical thinker. If I'm stressed or anxious about a situation, if I understand the things that I can change, I'll actively try and do those. If there's things that I can't change, I think, okay, this is out of my control, and therefore there's no point in me worrying about those things because I can't do anything about it. What will be, essentially, and that's a kind of a motto that I've always lived by. There's only so much that you can do, and what you can do, you should always do if it's something that's bothering you. I always just try and be positive, but realistic. Easier said than done, but it's like a practice thing, and the more I practice that, the better I get at it. What am I most excited about when planning my wedding? I would say the actual wedding is the part that I'm most excited about when planning my wedding. The party and the whole event of having all my friends and family in one room and just having a great time with everybody, I think that would be amazing. How are the kids? I know they've had some issues. I hope they're all better. The kids are really good. We're going through a few testing at the moment just to make sure that there's nothing else that's happening. The answer is almost found. We're not 100% there yet. Our doctors and our pediatricians are hinting at us that there might be something else that's going on. We're not entirely sure what that is, neither are they yet. All of these things take time for testing and stuff, so we've submitted all the tests that we want for now, and then once we get those results back, we'll know more things that we can do. It's not anything horrendously bad, which is really positive at the moment. That's what we know. So far, everything is so good. Whatever the result may be, the medication and the treatment that we're receiving at the moment is all in the right direction. It's been really scary because there are huge question marks that we don't know yet, and there are things that we can't change. I will tell you more when I know more. Just know that we are okay, we're on the right path, but it is not just pneumonia. Unfortunately, there is something else that's happening there, but we just don't have any of the answers that we want yet. I really just want to say on that point, give us time and we will tell you what's going on. I obviously want to be sensitive to Mackenzie and the future of her life and her health, and also Carter's as well. I'm conscious that there are a lot of people asking these questions because people actually genuinely care, which is really, really lovely and such a nice thing to have people that genuinely care about you and your life and the children that you have. It's just been a really difficult time leading up to this, and for us not to know the answers to the questions has probably been the hardest part. So if we're not answering those, it's not because we don't want you to know, it's just because we don't know ourselves, and we will tell you in time, but we just can't right now. And that is probably the most heartbreaking part. So I'm sorry for getting emotional, but it's just been a very topsy-turvy, very confusing ride and very consuming. So you might have noticed that I have been missing a little bit online on other places and like Instagram and stuff, and not being able to do as many stories as I'd like or keep you guys as updated as I'd like. But it literally is just, A, we have no time, B, it is so consuming, and it, you know, it's to the point of where we can't have either child in daycare anymore. So, well, temporarily, until we understand what's going on. We have to get all that bacteria out of Mackenzie's chest because she's just not getting any better. Nothing against daycare. It's daycare, shopping centres, parks, outings, no birthday parties, absolutely germ-free for 6 to 8 weeks, which is a very long time when you have toddlers, and daycare is your savior. So I don't know, we're getting there. I'm sorry, give us time. I love you. Thank you so much for understanding and giving us patience with that. But yeah, it's going to be a big journey, I think. That is hard. Whew, okay, something a little more lighthearted. What does my music playlist consist of? I am such a basic bee. Like, give me the top 40 any day, that'll do. I like my old classics, you know, anything that will get me up and dancing and feeling excited, or anything that I can sing to. Give me a tune that I will sing to. I love singing, so let me belt the tune out and I am good to go, honey. Do your little ones have a RAF? I think it's a little riff raff doll, I'm not sure, or a lulla doll. If so, can you recommend which one? We have lulla dolls, we've got 2 of them, 1 for each of them. They've had them since they were born. We love it because we can take them anywhere, and it's a sleeping cue, so they understand when lulla's on and she's sleeping. That's what they're supposed to do as well, and they cuddle them, they love them. It's very much so a comfort for them. We don't ever have them any other time other than just sleep time, so it is purely just a sleep cue. We also have white noise or pink noise machines, technically. We use them all the time. We think they're fantastic. We take them everywhere as well. The lulla dolls, there are 2 different types. I'll link the one down below that is the better one. There's the older, which is the original one, which we actually have. It's an 8-hour lulla doll, whereas the new ones are 12 hours, and we sleep from 7 till 7 as per our routine. If you're going to get a lulla doll, I'll link it down below so you can get that one. That one's the better one. I would highly, highly, highly recommend getting rechargeable batteries and changing the batteries twice a week, so every 3-4 days. Apologies. My battery just went flat. So, what are your best tips on not losing yourself as a partner and a mum? This is probably one of the most favorite questions that I get asked all the time. I feel like I did lose myself because I had 2 little tiny babies that were so consuming, and it was really difficult for me to have anything for myself, particularly because Fabian is away a lot, as you know, with his work. So for me, trying to do the best that I could, it was really difficult. But I would say in any relationship, if you put all your eggs in one basket and you forget everything that you are there for and what you bring to the table when you initially become part of that relationship, you're really discounting yourself long term. And it's very hard, particularly as a woman. I found it really difficult to be selfish because I always thought that it was a part of being in a relationship that you would give as much as you could to somebody else. I don't think that you have to do that in a relationship. I think you should give what the relationship requires, and you should give everything to that, but that doesn't mean give up everything. There's a really big difference for me. So if you're able to say, I love you, I will give anything to you, but I will not sacrifice all of me for you, I think that is probably a much more appropriate way to answer that than to give up everything for somebody else. For me, being in a relationship, I want to be able to have a 2-way street. I want him to feel just as loved as I do and just as important as I am to the relationship. It's one of those things where you have to find that balance with that person. But if you're getting to the point where you're not really happy in your relationship and you're not very comfortable in your relationship and you've given up so much of it before, which I've been in this position where I've given up everything, financially, emotionally, mentally, all of these things for this other person, and they're not really reciprocating that to me. So I'm left at the end of this relationship thinking, I'm unhappy, I don't like what I'm doing, there's, you know, my job, I've sacrificed things for my job, and therefore I'm not happy at my job, and all of a sudden everything starts to fall apart. So if you can have one thing that's always yours, whether that be a bank account, your own income stream, your own house, your own room, whatever, something that's yours and that no one can take away from you, I think it gives you power. When you have nothing, you don't have power. So it's important to be able to have that for yourself, because that really gave me a lot of strength, knowing that I had a career or a house or a car or something that was mine that they could not take away from me. Particularly with kids as well, I think it's always important to make time for yourself. And I am such a preacher, but also very aware of how difficult that is. So I understand that me saying you should do this, but you probably can't, because that was me. I just think it's important not to lose yourself. If you give up everything, then you've got nothing. And if you've got nothing in a relationship, what are you bringing to the table? Nothing. So you can't give up everything if you want to have something in a relationship with somebody else and also with your kids. How is my hair so perfect? Thanks, Emma. Hair's not perfect. It took me a long time to grow. I think if you're using good quality products, I use all Stefan products. If you would like to look at any of the products that I use as well, they're all on the Stefan website. I've actually got a 10% discount code as well. So it's just Becky10 at Stefan.com. I'll link it all down below in the description box for you. So if you want to pick up any items, I'll probably leave like maybe 2 or 3 of my favorite stuff. The leave-in conditioner, I highly recommend, and you need, if you're blonde particularly, a very, very good serum and a heat protector spray. This is from a twin mum. She's asking me if I find it difficult to go out with the twins. Oh my God, yes. I cannot tell you how much anxiety I used to feel. I remember the first time that I went out with them by myself. I think they were about a month old, and I just remember thinking, this is hell. I am in hell. How do I get out of this hell? When does this end? Help. I got stuck at a shopping mall for 5 hours, literally. Fabian had a Tag Heuer event on and he went to a golf day, and I literally dropped him off there with the twins, said hello to everybody, and then it was feeding time. I went to the parents' room to feed, and then by the time I'd finished feeding, one of them, it was nap time, and then it was just like, great, I'm just stuck here now. I couldn't get them to sleep. I couldn't get them to feed. It was just a disaster. So then I waited the whole day until he finally finished his golf day. So he came back to the shopping center and I was like, help. It's so hard. It's so hard. And I used to remember I'd be in the shopping center watching all those mums with just one baby in a pram and thinking, that would be nice. Even though I know that they struggle, every mum struggles regardless of how many kids you've got and what ages they are. It's always hard. Credit to you, girl. But I mean, as a first time mum with twins, it was very overwhelming. And yes, it is hard to leave the house the first time. Now that they're nearly 2, they're definitely getting easier, and it is a lot more fun because they can communicate with you and you can bribe them with food. That helps. Definitely in the initial days, it was very difficult. What is your favorite makeup brand? I've actually got a part of my website that's got all of my makeup and beauty products all online. So I'll put a link down there below. It's just beckylamb.com/shop. So you can see all of the beauty products that I have on there. My favorite makeup brand at the moment, I really like the Tarte concealer. I've got a really nice powder that I'm using. Melissa Cecine Cosmetics have a beautiful, beautiful highlighter that I love to use. There's a go-to hand cream. It's like a oil. I can't remember the name of it, but I'll link it down below for you as well. It's amazing. Exception oil, that's what it's called. And it's like so good. Do I ever get nervous when Fabian's racing? No, not really. I mean, what? Again, it goes back to that whole, if it's out of my control, there's no point me worrying about it. There's nothing I can do. I would say I'd get frustrated when Fabian's racing because things that happen that are out of his control, out of my control, out of the team's control. Do I ever get worried when he's racing? No. But frustrated? Yeah. Will you see me at Bathurst? No. Hopefully next year. I don't know, it's very frustrating. I wish I could come too. The next year, you know, we might try and get like a camper van or something, and if we can have something at the track where the kids can nap or at least go to. It's very hard with twin toddlers. I'm just leaving that there. Next time. How long have we been together? 8 years, and we just got engaged about a month and a half ago. I'll put my engagement video up here for you if you'd like to check it out. How did I tell Fabian I was pregnant? It was actually at the Grand Prix in 2017 on the Saturday night. I'd felt so tired and so bloated for about a week, and I said to him, I'm just doing some Googling. I think I might be pregnant. How would you feel about that? And he looked over at me and shrugged and he was like, meh. Was really unbothered about it. The next day was a race, and it was the first weekend that Penske had won. DJR Team Penske as a collective had won a race weekend, and he had to win the race or at least beat, I think, Jamie Whincup at the time. You know, did all the tests that morning, called my girlfriends, rallied the troops, and I was like, what am I gonna do? It was like a panic time. Got to the track, he'd just finished, crossed the line, won first place, got a trophy in his hand, and I said, by the way, I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? I'll actually try and find the video and post it for you. And you can see his face, and he's just like, Will I ever post more about Baloo and all about my horse? Yes, I will. I'm very excited actually. Even though I just started this video with saying that I don't really have much time at the moment, which is very true, my riding coach and I are actually working on a riding course for beginner riders and medium riders to work on their horses at home. So it'll be like a subscription service, like very cheap every month, where you can ask us anything and talk us through any of that. So I'll be working on obviously the video content, and I am the beginner rider. You know, I'm not too beginner, but it's just nice to have somebody who hasn't grown up with horses. So Baloo and I are actually going to be competing next year. It's just obviously at this point in time, she's just had about a month off being lame with her back leg, and I have obviously been in hospital with Mackenzie, so I haven't been able to do much riding with her, but we are well and truly ready for the eventing scene. My beautiful girl will be jumping over some pretty cool courses next year, so I'm really excited to do that. I am, I think, going to put an Instagram page up as well, because I have been asked a few times to either do that or be an ambassador for a riding company. So I do have some more things in the works for you guys, so when that happens, I'll let you know. That is it for this video, so thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate all your questions. And if you've got any more questions, make sure you put them in the comments box down below so I can reply to you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to see any more videos from me, make sure you check out all my playlists, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos in the future. If you haven't already, make sure you tell all your friends about this channel. Don't forget to ring the bell and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I love you guys so much. I can't wait to talk to you guys soon. Bye.